Hi everybody, and it's nice to be back with you, and thank you for joining me. Today is watering day, but I'm not going to show you all my watering, but I do have a lot of little tips that I want to tell you why I'm doing it, and so you can learn also with your gardening experience. So we'll get at it first, and I think we should do the most important one first. So I'll just get it from behind here. Okay, this is the grocery store fell that I had in the last video. Maybe not the last one, but you'll remember it by the color of the flowers. And I repotted it from moss to bark. But upon opening it up, there was a few dead roots, and I was very concerned about a very dark, kind of soggy spot that was inside, and I had treated it with cinnamon and a small spray of hydrogen peroxide. And it was, and I'll show you, it was right in there. It has dried up. I think it's going to be okay. It has dried up, but I've been looking at this every day, and as you can see, the flowers are now limp. And this is the shock from going from moss to bark, but not just that. It's the shock from there was rotten roots and damage to be done. And so I said at the time I didn't think I would save these, and so what I'm going to do is nip them off, because then the strength of the plant will quit going up the stems, and it will go to making the plant stronger and healthier and promoting the leaves. So the other thing I noticed, and why I'm doing this, is this leaf's fairly firm, but there's a few kind of starting to get soft, and I don't want them to get soft. So we're going to cut them off, and I'll just quickly put this under the stove. I was going to do that. Put some light on it. There we go. And the other thing, if you have a gas stove nearby, use it, but if you don't, I quite often use a little bit of alcohol. This is an important cut. We don't want anything to happen. So I'll take some rubbing alcohol besides the heat. There we go. And just wipe them off. Now, okay, the good part about doing this is the strength will go to the plant. And once and I'm going to go fairly low. Now, if this was a very healthy plant and I wanted to encourage a rebloom, which I seldom do, but I have in the past, you could cut maybe after where the first flower bud had come. You could go in between the one little bracket node and the next one, and you could trim it off right in there. But I don't want to do that, because that's saying, okay, send my energy to make another spike. I don't want to do that. I want all the energy on the plant. I enjoy the leaves, not as much as the flowers, but I do enjoy them. They're beautiful. So we're going to go in here. I'll show you where I'm going to go about an inch up. I'm going to go right below that bracket, and I'm going to do a cut. And so that will come off, and so I'm going to go right in there. I want to be careful that I don't cut anything I don't want to cut. There we go. So that one can come out. I'll just set it aside, and I can probably still reuse the flower. Oh, poor thing. Doubtful. What to do with it? Put it over here. Okay. I know, I'm strange sometimes. Okay, same thing from the other one. About this much from the bottom. I'm not leaving a bracket or a node showing. I'm just going right down there and cutting it off. Okay, so there we go. So I feel good about that. And, oh yeah, I have this little kit. Isn't this nice? Well, I didn't really fuss with it, but at the thrift store I found it wouldn't, I think it was a man's carpenter box, but it had black felt pen writing. It was pretty dirty, and Jack added an extra little box in here. And it fits all my stuff, and I can just pull it out when I'm having a day where I'm doing everything. And it's handy, and I painted it 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of gloss, so it can take a lot of wear and tear. So, cinnamon, where are you? And I put a little container so they do have cinnamon when I want it, because you have to be careful when you use cinnamon. You're only putting it where you want it, because it will dry out roots. You don't want to get carried away. So I'm just putting a little dab on there and on there. And it's watering day, so later it'll get watered. Okay, the ones that are going to get fertilizer when I water are only going to be the ones I'm encouraging green leaves and growth. That would be this one. I'll put a pinch, and I use this, is 25-10-10, and it helps encourage new growth. So when I water today, I will take a pinch, just a pinch. I don't measure it, I take a pinch. Now, you can't get too much in a pinch, and that's what you want to do. And then I'll take my watering can, and I'll fill this up. I'm not sure how much this is, but I'll fill it up, and I'll put a pinch of this in there and stir it up good. And then the ones that I'm going to fertilize today, then that's what they will get. And it will help give them strength and energy now to get new growth and strengthen their leaves, because if you leave the flower on too long and the plant starts to look like it's suffering, that's what you have to do. But I think this one will be fine. Okay, that's that one out the way. I'll just stick it back here. Okay, now that's the only one we have to operate on, so we'll put it there. And now the other 2 that were repotted, one was over a month ago, and one was at the same time. Okay, I'll just bring them both over. I always try to figure out how to set this up so everybody can see, and I walk all around the kitchen and I always end up with my back towards you, but sorry. Okay, this is Lemon Surprise, and this was repotted at the same time as we did the other one. And I said that this one was such healthy, the roots were good, its leaves have stayed strong. I knew it would do good. So it's just recognizing, when I repotted that one, I should have cut the flower off. I should have recognized right away, because I had surgery to do and different things, and I knew, because I did mention it. But that's a learning experience. So this one was fine. So it'll get its normal watering and no fertilizer. I don't fertilize them when they're in bloom. I never do. So some people might, but I just never bother. So usually in the summer when I put them all outside, that's usually when I fertilize. But the ones that I'm hoping are going to go in a better growth period will get some today. So this one will just get water. It's very, very healthy. Very healthy. And it's dry. It's watering day and it's dry. With bark, you find I usually run on the dry side. So now this is Sunset. This is well over a month. Potted in bloom. Some buds still perfectly healthy. Very healthy roots coming and leaves. So I'm not worried about that one either. And it looks like it's going to flower for some time. So now, what's in spike and what isn't? So, now you can see these are very dry. That's 1 week. I usually go about a week unless I'm busy. I vary a day or two. But these little minis were all bought at the same time in those little black pots. And they were kept together in Jack's Monet pot. So you can see all the healthy roots in there. And we have a nice spike coming. And the aerial roots are even growing all out. And here we have another spike coming. And another one. So these are in the west window. West because it's winter here now. And that sun will never get so hot that it's going to hurt the plants. But it's the brightest windows. They jut out because they're garden windows and bay windows. So they do collect. And this is one has been right near the glass. And it's been happy. So the leaves, very firm. In fact, in the morning when I'm misting, I sometimes just go, how are you today? You know, just to, oh, okay, you're doing good. I mean, look at this new leaf. It grew so beautiful. And they're shiny and they're very happy. So that one will get normal water in today, and it is in spike. So we'll push that to the back. Whoops. Help. Okay, now this one is the purple fell in my first videos. I've had it. It's one of my longest ones I've had. And it was in my kitchen window. And the bloom was just huge. I forget how many, 14 or more blossoms on it. So, yes, it has a spike. And, of course, I repotted it. I didn't like the pot I'd put it in. And I repotted it. I remember seeing a little spike when I was repotting it. And I'm not too sure if that one's growing. It looks like it is, so there could be 2 spikes on this one. And I see a little piece of scale right in there. Maybe I can show you. Some plants are so healthy they never get scale. Other ones, you know to watch those ones. And this one has always been like that. So I will take a Q-tip when I'm watering and I will clean all the edges. And right in there is a little scale. And what I do is I take my hands and a little bit of this, wipe down. I wipe the edges of all the leaves and look underneath and clean it really good, because this one always does really well, but it does tend to get scale quicker. Okay. So there's that one. So there's 3 spikes there, 2 spikes there. The outside trip did them good. And this little one has been in this pot a long time. Very healthy. And a little spike coming. And nice firm leaves. Most of them, the leaves are nice and firm and healthy. And that's what I want. And this is one, remember, we repotted this in the lamp pot. I still love it. And the leaves are still firm. That's what I want. The leaves are shiny, firm. The aerial roots are good. They're looking a little dry, but it's watering day. So it's just water for those ones. Now, Marilyn helped me name this one, and this is Moon Glow. And this is one, this has had a keiki on, both the keiki and the mother plant had 2 spikes, one on each last year, and they're doing the same. For those who wanted to know, look at this kiki. Remember when I repotted this, I broke one of the leaves and that one got a little damaged, so it got a little bump, but it's shiny, healthy, and firm. And look at this spike coming. Yeah. So that's the baby. I was going to repot it, but I seen it wasn't spike, and I thought, well, I think I'll wait. And there's the mother's spike. It's coming right in there. Yeah, this is going to be beautiful. And this one never has scale, never. It's always been shiny and healthy, and it's just always done so good. So, and these are all grocery store fells, except one. I'll show you that one. Okay. Cover all this. Okay, this is my one species one. Don't ask me what it is. I left the paper over there. But this is one I ordered. The leaves are firm. They're lighter colored. They're firm. It's been growing lots of nice little roots. And so I think it's happy. It gets a special spot on a plate above my little misting bowl. So I know it likes that. Okay, we did those ones. Now, my mulch. Now, unless you're prepared to soak your bark every morning, rinse it off is what I do. I don't soak it, but I rinse it off under the tap every morning. Then don't mount and plan to keep it in your house, in your kitchen or whatever, but I'm hanging in there. This is its fourth little bloom. Hirella retricella. Okay, I might have remembered that one. So there we are, its fourth little bloom. And I had wrapped all this core mat around, and I see this one has little things coming. And this is coming new since it was done. So it's happier because it was on that brittle pad. That was not a good thing. Took me a long time to slowly pick the roots out, and some were rotting in there. So yeah, it's definitely happier now. So that's that one. And I don't want to forget anybody. Okay. I know you're hiding here. Where are you hiding? Well, I'll find it. There's one here I wanted to show you. Okay, and this is the road cone. And I did want to show you this. I don't see any spikes coming yet, but I am so happy because in here, lots of healthy growth. Nice, firm leaves. No sign of limp at all. The new leaf is nice and shiny. And so I'm very happy. And this one goes in the shower. I take it in the shower and I just hose it down really good, and that's all it gets. So the road cone is doing well. And that's going to bother me till I find that plant. Oh, I left it in the window. No wonder I can't find it. I'm coming. There we go. Because this is the one that in the summer out in the patio, it had 2 leaves left. 2 leaves went yellow and fell off, and I thought, oh no. But look at the growth in here. Look at the roots. It's so happy. It just is watering day, and if I was to dig in here, I'd like to show you that. If I was to dig in here, this hasn't been watered in a week, and you'll see it's dry. But it's not unhealthily dry, it's just ready for watering day. And these leaves, firm, shiny, healthy. I'm so glad I didn't lose this one. It's beautiful, and when it does spike, it's going to be something special. So there, that's what I was looking for. I don't want to forget watering it. Now, okay, Now, the two I did repot in the hanging lampshades. They already had the holes because that was where the light came out. And this one isn't too bad. It's shiny, but not as firm as I would like. But there is lots of aerial roots coming in here, and there's sign of a new leaf and growth. So this one is also going to get, I'm not worried about a spike. First, healthiness in the plant and the root. So it gets some of the fertilizer when I fertilize the other one, just a pinch. And this one was the saddest of them all. It has some floppy leaves. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're not how I like them. It's trying to get a new leaf, and there's still lots of root growth going on in here. But, so this is my saddest one, and it also will get some fertilizer and some special care. I make sure it's getting lots of humidity, and it's going to be in a growth phase rather than a resting, flowering phase. And we're getting there. So, now this is interesting. Okay. Now, I had my cymbidiums out all summer. It was scorching hot. It was on the east side where all my taps are. And every morning when I went to turn my taps on, I would give it a sprinkle every morning. We had no rain all summer. It was over 100 degrees, lots of days, for sure over 90. So anyway, that's what I did. I never had cymbidiums before. In fact, I picked them up at a garage sale and repotted them and wasn't even sure I was repotting them properly. But, that all being said, what is going on in here? You know? I don't know if I'm getting flowers or if I'm getting new growth. Now, I did read something about if you feel it, which I can feel it. If you feel it, it feels soft. What does that mean? I don't know. And I won't even know what color they are. But now, okay, the living room window, I put them on the top shelf because it's glass on the top all the way around. It's also the coolest of the two because the kitchen gets heated up from cooking. So it's cooler and brighter in there. So that's where they are. There's that one. Well, I want to show you the other one too. Take it out of its pot because the pot is awkward. Now, also in this one, and I think the leaves look pretty good and the bulbs look pretty good, but there's a couple things happening here too. This one's kind of stuck behind here, but okay, I don't know. It looks like a leaf to me. I could be wrong. I hope it's a flower. There's two. There's one that sort of came out behind this leaf and a leaf split. So there's two side by side. There's none on the other side. And what? We don't know, but boy, if it's a flower, I'll be celebrating. So anyway, we'll put it here. So, when you're growing in just bark, now, all of mine are just bark except the bigger pots that may hold on to the moisture a little longer have some charcoal. I don't worry about it in the little ones. The minis did get some charcoal because of the awkwardness of the shape of the pot, and I didn't want it going acidic. They seem happy, happy. So, all in bark, all in this, like we've had a week of snow and now it warmed up and it's pouring rain and it's cold outside, 30 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And so if you're living in the northern hemisphere and you're wondering how your orchids will do in your home, try it. You'll love it. It's a beautiful hobby. It's relaxing, it's fun, and they're like our little pets. They just love to give back. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm going to water now, and we'll see you next time.